We'll find out in a few hours the quarantine rules that will be in place beginning tomorrow. President Rodrigo Duterte will address the nation at 9 this morning. That's according to his former aide, Senator Bongo. The current quarantine policies, which include the general community quarantine in Metro Manila, are scheduled to end today. The president's announcement comes as the country breaks its single-day record for COVID-19 cases with almost 4,000 recorded yesterday. The previous high was a little over 2,500 on July 8. The new infections also pushed the national case count to 89,374. That surpasses China's numbers, which were around 87,000 based on the Johns Hopkins University tracker. If you recall, China had been the world's epicenter of COVID-19 a few months ago. It's also where the disease originated. Cases in the Philippines have been rising steadily, even if it has one of the world's longest COVID-19 lockdowns. And if Metro Manila's policy-making body gets its way, the capital region may stay under GCQ even after today, with officials having the power to carry out localized lockdowns to contain the spike in COVID-19 cases. Deputy Task Force Chief for the Visayas, Roy Simatu, says he recommended downgrading quarantine protocols to GCQ. Simatu says the situation in Cebu City is improving. Back to the situation in Metro Manila, we now talk to the spokesperson of the Metro Manila Development Authority, Assistant Secretary Celine Pialago. Good morning, ASEC. Thanks for taking our call.
Good morning, ma'am, and good morning to all of your viewers and listeners.
All right, ASEC, what was the recommendation of Metro Manila mayors as far as the quarantine status goes?
Well, Ms. Rio, we just have to clarify these things. No? All of the mayors have decided to follow and trust the wisdom of the IATF. Actually po yung meeting nung last night, no? Not last night, 2 nights ago, this is more of how to improve the procedures, the localized lockdown in different local government units. So we just want to clear this, ma'am. There were no specific recommendation, but this is more of we trust the IATF, we trust their wisdom. So whatever their decision would be, then Metro Manila will just follow. And Metro Manila mayors just showed their support that they are one in this issue. So walang mayor na magdedesisyon ng taliwas sa magiging desisyon ng IATF. That's the general idea of the emergency meeting. This is more of discussing the higher fines for people who are not wearing proper masks, as per Secretary Anyo. So those were the things being discussed during the emergency meeting.
All right. So is it correct to assume that what the president will announce later is basically status quo? We stay as we are?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is safe to say. So we just have to wait for the president. Ilang oras na lang po yan. Our viewers should understand that the Metro Manila Council is pure recommendatory. So we just keep on recommending. But this time, this is not just on recommendation. Because if you will review, ma'am, no, we started GCQ last June 1st. And in every almost 2 weeks, kahit GCQ, nagkakaroon ng adjustment, no? On the first week of GCQ, in mass gatherings, 10 persons lang ang allowed. Pero eventually, naging 10% na. So, nagiging hybrid yung GCQ natin, no? Depending on the situation. That's why, Metro Manila mayors are not focused, we're not focused on recommending GCQ ba, ECQ ba, and ECQ ba. They are focused on preparing.
Right, how best to implement the guidelines.
Yes.
All right, ASEC, how ready is Metro Manila for the opening of more businesses tomorrow, like internet cafes and gyms, especially in light of the announcement yesterday where we had a record high number of new cases?
Well, ma'am, in terms of traffic, MMDA will always be the agency for traffic management. So we are fast-tracking all of our bus stops, no? Kagabi lang, ma'am, no? 24/7, round the clock po. Yung pagtatrabaho ng mga engineers natin, DPWH, DOTR, to finish all the bus stops. Because, ma'am, the idea, pagpasok ng new normal or pagpasok lang ng MGCQ, more people will start to go outside, to go to work, the businesses will start to recover. So, dapat po yung mga 16 bus stops natin, operational na by then. So, those are one of our preparations. Second, ma'am, our deployment before 50%. workforce up to 60. And now, as we go along, we're now up to 70% workforce. Kasi dumadami na din po yung bilang ng mga sasakyan. Under general community quarantine, we are monitoring around 200,000 motorists flying EDSA. The original count is 405,000. So, meron pa tayong 205,000 waiting, no? So, madami pa yun, ma'am. So, we have to prepare. Meron na rin po tayong preparation sa ating bus stops. So we will include steel bollards in our EDSA busway in mix po with our concrete barriers para po magamit na fully yung ating mga bus stops and the whole EDSA busway.
All right. Asa, can we just get some clarification on the curfew hours? From what time up to what time ang curfew? And does this go for the same for restaurants and other establishments?
All right, ma'am. On the first day of GCQ, June 1st, if we will still remember, that was 8 p.m. And again, in every 2 weeks, if we can notice that, nagkakaroon ng changes eh. Naging 9, naging ibang cities, naging 10. So, ma'am, good thing you asked that because during the emergency meeting also, that issue has been raised, no? Kasi ang gusto ng mga mayors, kung ano yung curfew ng isang LGU should be the same curfew of the nearby cities. Kasi you can't impose 10 p.m. curfew in Makati and however, 8 p.m. ka lang sa BGC. So, those were being discussed also, ma'am. We don't have resolutions yet for a uniform curfew, but they have their own curfews already. So they just have to check the respective local government needs po kung ano po yung ordinances being imposed in their cities.
Right. Nakakalito nga actually yung mga oras ng curfew. So thanks for explaining that to us. Okay, lastly, Asek, we are nearing the so-called Burr months when traditionally the volume of traffic increases. How is traffic now compared to previous months and are we expecting the heavier traffic in the weeks ahead?
Well, ma'am, we're just August na, ma'am, no? 1 month before Burr months. We are far from last year. Before, if you can still remember, September, we're talking about mall adjustment hours. We're talking about additional 5% to the total vehicles flying EDSA. Now, ma'am, we're far from last year. But we're not focusing on Burr months, ma'am, kasi iba yung sitwasyon natin ngayon. We are very in the not so normal situation. So, focus po natin yung pagbabalik.
All right.
Hindi po tayo focus dun sa dagdag. Because last year, we're focusing on additional 20% of vehicles coming from different provinces, doing business here in Metro Manila. Last year, yun ang focus natin. But for this year, ang focus po natin, yung mga babalik, dapat siguraduhin po ng mga agencies like us na lahat ng babalik together with PNP, lahat ng nasa kalsada, essential. Iba na ho ang sitwasyon natin ngayon. So, isa po yun sa mga napag-usapan, how to make sure na lahat po ng lalabas essential. For example, you're going to the market. Dati, pamilya kayong nag-grocery. Ngayon, dapat manatili pa rin kung isa lang sa miyembro ng inyong pamilya yung lalabas.
That's
So, those
right.
were being discussed also, ma'am, in the emergency meeting with the Metro Manila Mayor.
All right. Thank you for your time this morning. MMDA Spokesperson Celine Pialago.